My name is Richard, a research analyst and financial markets trainer at Nirvana. Welcome to Nirvana's midweek market review. So today we are going to be looking at the markets across the various financial assets, having a brief look at the stock markets, currencies, cryptos, commodities, and indices. So let's get to it. All right, so today we're going to be looking at the index markets, looking at assets and the stock markets, looking at crypto, commodities, and the FX markets. And those that have a clear direction, we have to check. So do not validate an asset for further analysis if you are not clear on the direction of that asset. If you are not clear on market direction, you need to be very, very clear that the probabilities favor that asset in terms of a bullish movement or a bearish movement. So let's have a look. I'm currently on the index markets and I'm on my weekly time frame. So for US 30, US 30 is looking bullish for the week. So that's a very, very clear direction for me. I had to check. Next, we have S&P 500, also bullish, can add that to check. I'm just going to be picking 5 assets for this analysis. So we have US 30 from the index markets. NASDAQ is looking pretty good, pretty bullish. Let me add that to check also. And then FTSE, what's FTSE doing? Most likely FTSE is also going to be bullish. Let's have a look at the DAX. Okay, DAX market direction last week was bearish, current week looking bullish. I'm going to leave DAX from my check. FTSE not coming up, revisit this. And then I have my Nikkei. Nikkei is bullish. All right, so you can just take feedback from these assets, and if you want to add more of these assets to your checklist, feel free to do so. The equities market, the stock market, Nvidia market direction for Nvidia is clearly bearish. Let's add that. Nvidia is currently the number one stock market assets in the world right now. So let's add to check. Checking Apple. What's Apple doing? Apple is clearly bullish. Stock market opens 2:30 Nigerian time. So you can see the pre-market movement of some of those assets. Tesla 2 weeks ago, bearish, bullish. All right. Tesla not really clear to me. Netflix is bullish current week. All right, so let's have a look at the crypto markets. And I have Bitcoin and Ethereum on my charts for the crypto market. So Bitcoin clearly bearish on my charts, and I still support further movement to the downside on this asset. So we have Ethereum next. Ethereum following its twin brother. And we have Ethereum next. Ethereum following its twin brother, Bitcoin. So I'm going to add Bitcoin to checklists from the crypto markets. So it's currently there. Yeah. So finally, gold, silver. Okay, we have the commodities before the FS market. Let's look at gold. How is gold performing? Last week, gold was bullish. Current week, we've had some bearish movements for Monday and Tuesday. So I'm still going to support gold for a bullish movement. And I had to check because we can see some clear bullish movements from last week on these assets. Silver, how is silver performing? Silver, interestingly, I'm in line for a bearish move on these assets. US oil, are you clear? Market direction for US oil is bearish, even though we have some reaction to this support zone on the weekly for these assets. So there's a support reaction on this assets for US oil. So market direction, not really perfect for me, so I'm going to leave that out. Brent oil will most likely be performing the same thing, and as predicted, we have that going on for these assets. Let's look at the FX markets. Euro USD market direction not clear for me. GBP USD market direction not clear. AUD USD market direction not clear. USD JPY market direction bullish. So let me add USD JPY to my checklist for a bullish confirmation. USD card, what are you doing? Let's have a look at these assets. I'm in support of a bearish move for these assets, USD card, based on what I can see on my charts. But let's skip this. Look at GBP JPY. What am I? Not clear. Euro JPY. Euro JPY not clear. Euro odd. Euro AUD. I'm also in support of a bearish movement for these assets based on what I have on my charts. GBP AUD for this week. I'm bearish on these assets. Euro GBP market direction not clear. GBP card. It's looking very bearish for this week. Last week was quite bullish. So I'm going to skip these assets and we're back to the top of the list. So let's see how many assets we have on our check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's work with this. So for US30, I called a bullish movement on this asset. Going to my daily time frame to see some levels where I might get a possible confirmation for a re-entry in this asset. So I draw my levels. US30. Alright, months, draw my levels, US30 for previous months. Okay, so we have having some interesting expectation on this assets. Let me increase my screen a bit. So for US30, potentially looking at a drop to this level where there's a cross here between these two fib fan levels. I'm expecting further retracement on this asset to the downside, probably around market price of 46,744. Yes, 46,744. I'll potentially be setting an alert for this asset when it gets a decent retracement to this level. For Nasdaq, interestingly, yesterday was a not a clean price action, but a bearish move, so to say. And today is currently forming a doji candle. I'm going to skip Nasdaq for this analysis. Nvidia, are you performing? The stock markets are not opened yet. Pre-market is looking for a bullish move. Nvidia is currently bearish. Pre-market is slightly bullish, not really clear, and let's see how our fib fan levels are looking. If I will potentially get a decent retracement this week on these assets. Meanwhile, let me confirm my position on Nvidia. What was I on Nvidia? Oh, I was bearish on these assets. So I need to draw a bearish fib fan. So don't let this, and daily, and we lowest points, Okay. No confirmation yet for this asset Nvidia, but I'm hoping pre-market opens good and retraces to this fifth fan level around 183.23 and giving a good setup for a possible re-entry for a bearish move to the downside. Let's see how that plays out. So I'm going to leave this fifth fan level for Nvidia. So I have US 30 Nvidia. Let's see how Bitcoin is performing for a bearish confirmation on this asset. My daily RS point was here, lowest point. So Bitcoin seemed to have given a bearish touch yesterday, and I will potentially be doing further analysis on this asset. But expect I'm in position and I'm in further support of a bearish move for these assets for the rest of this week, tomorrow and next tomorrow. Let's look at gold. So Bitcoin is clearly bearish. Bitcoin gave me a bearish confirmation yesterday. Gold has done decent retracement to the downside for yesterday and day before yesterday. Oh, yesterday, yes. Monday was bullish, bearish yesterday. Current day, we have some bullish action at play, and let's see if it gave a touch as expected. Yes, so the gold is probably reacting to this level on my fib level, and I would do further analysis on this chart and expecting a further upside movement on gold for tomorrow and next tomorrow. So I'm positioned for a buy right now. Yesterday it was a very sharp bearish move. Looking at today, looking at how price is forming up today, it seems the bulls are currently having it. And finally, we have USD JPY, these tricky assets. My daily time frame, I'm positioned for bullish, and let's see how our levels are looking. So USDJPY, I would say it's playing out a move based on this fib level confirmation that I have on my charts, and I'm expecting a potential retracement. If that retracement doesn't happen today, then I'm done with this asset for this week. A further retracement to this level, this fib level I have. Let's see how last month is looking for this asset and see if there is another level that could potentially give a re-entry. So this still seems to be the closest level on this assets for confirmation. Interestingly, so just a rush through of assets with the highest probability moves for the rest of this week. We have US 30 looking for some retracement today. Today is midweek, so that retracement has to happen today for a good entry confirmation for the rest of this week. Looking for a midweek retracement to 46, 46, 663. Yes, this where we have this cross for the 6745, where we have these true fib fan levels crossing each other. I'm not looking at this because this is pretty close. I'm looking at further downside to this level. Let me go to the 4 hour and see if that would. Yes, so thank you very much for staying with us. Thank you very much for paying attention, and see you next time.